Okay, guys, we're going to work on the Desmos where we are going to graph two lines with solution one, -1, 2. Okay, the first thing you want to do is just graph a line. So I'm going to graph one that goes through that number. Okay, and then I'm going to graph another one that goes also through that number, but on the opposite direction. Okay, next what I want to do is graph points. So I'm going to create two tables. Okay, so one of them is going to be -1, 2, which is the one on your intersecting lines, right? So both of the tables will contain the point -1 and 2, okay? And I'm going to make this table with black ink, that way you know which ones are which. Okay, so this one would have x and y, -1 and 2. And this one would have x and y, -1 and 2. Okay, so what I need to get now is, I'm going to start with the blue one. I'm going to grab a point where it intersects with the x. So let's just take 0 and 3. Okay, and now I'm going to grab another point from the black line, 1, 0. Okay, now I'm going to find my rate of changes by doing delta y over delta x. And I have 0 minus 2, it would give you -2. And then 1 minus -1, it would give you +2. Okay, so it would be 2 divided by 2 gives you -1. That is going to be my rate of change for that equation. Now, remember we talked about how where the line meets the y value, that is going to be your constant. So that would be +1. And I can verify that it's going to go through the +1 by getting my y, which is 2, and that will equal my -1, which is my rate of change, right? Times -1, which is the x point, plus my constant. Well, -1 times -1 would give you +1, right? Plus my constant, and that equals 2. And my constant will equal 1, because 2 minus 1 would give us 1, right? So my first equation would be -x plus 1, okay? Now I'm going to go to the blue line. The blue line has 3 minus 2, that will give us +1. 0 minus -1, that would give us +1, okay? So your rate of change is going to be delta y over delta x, which would give you 1 over 1, which equals 1. Constant rate of change is 1. Your coefficient is 1, but we don't write the 1, so we're going to say x, okay? X, and now I'm going to see that my line is going through 3, so it's going to be +3. And I'm going to verify that by this point that I grabbed, and also by using -1, 2. So 2 equals, right, 1 times -1 plus a constant. 2 equals -1, because once I multiply these two, I get -1 plus the constant. I add 1 to both sides of the equation. That would give me 3 equals c, right, which is my constant. My constant would be +3. Check. So my next equation will be x plus 3. Now we're going to verify that my equations are correct. So I'm going to say -x plus 1, right? And x plus 3. When I check my answer, it gives me the exact lines that I created, right? That I created on the previous screen. When you guys are given just 1 point, all you have to do is create your lines, make sure that they both intersect at that point, grab the point that you're given, which in this case is your intersecting point, and just any other point on that line. And that will give you your equations, okay?